What's poppin', people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, yours, Jan. I do hope you are all doing well today, mate. I really do hope that. And it's the match we've all been waiting for, the epic matchup between Chelsea Football Club's Frank Lampard, their fearsome leader, greatest ever player, is coming up against, who is in the red corner, once known as Smeagol, living in the Shire, then known only as the creature named Gollum after some evolution, till he reached his final form, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the Manchester United manager. That's right, this Pokemon has evolved twice to reach the Manchester United job and got Cardiff relegated along the way. Anyway, what's happening? Enough of that silliness. Yeah, it's a big matchup, man. We're going to talk about it today. United have, of course, had the better of Chelsea a lot this season, all in kind of different ways, but mostly capitalising on transition, counter-attacks, bogey team basically. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the kind of team Chelsea might put out, the kind of team Manchester United might put out, the priorities for both clubs, and what we can expect, etc, etc, etc. Hey though, I like football, you like football, I use the One Football app, you should use the One Football app, boys and girls. It's totally free and it gives you everything you need regarding the beautiful game, whether it's fixtures, stats, transfer news, general news, message alerts about games. You get it all consolidated on one nifty little platform. Like I always tell you, I use it every day, and there's nothing stopping you from doing the exact same. All you have to do is click the link in the top of the description, go check out One Football and do yourselves a favour. Alright then, let's get into it. So Arsenal somehow beat Manchester City last night, and David Luiz did his bi-yearly defensive masterclass performance, and ultimately deserved winners. They absolutely dug in, and to be honest, mate, now more than ever, I really want to beat Manchester United. Well, of course I really wanted to beat Manchester United anyway, but after facing Arsenal in a final last season, slapping them about, wouldn't you like to do it again? Chelsea have obviously beaten Arsenal this season and drawn, even though they'll tell you that 2-2 draw was an epic win from their perspective. But they're very, very beatable. They'll probably try and play with the ball against a team like Chelsea rather than sitting back like they did against Manchester City, and that would absolutely afford Chelsea the space to probably beat Arsenal. I think if Chelsea got to the final, they would be favourites. But before the final, there's the small matter of Manchester United in the semi. Tonight! So, what is going to happen? Well, both of these teams are obviously neck and neck, a point apart going for the top four in the Premier League, and we all know now it is a top four, as in not a top five. But an FA Cup opportunity for Frank Lampard, his first season coaching Chelsea Football Club, in, remember, difficult conditions. This would be such an epic achievement for Frank. It would be excellent, and to be honest, if there was another team in the semi-final, I'd be feeling pretty confident, but Man United seem to have Chelsea's number, and we are about to talk about that. But Frank Lampard's priorities will also be securing top four football to attract players, to bring revenue, to just play in the Champions League, yada 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 yada. But the difference is, with Manchester United, although they're gunning for top four as well, they also have the small matter of the Europa League, which really in their heads has to be the priority, because it offers them both Champions League qualification and a trophy. A great trophy, man. The Europa League, think about it. So what's the tier list of domestic winnable trophies? You have the Champions League and the Premier League, and they're probably neck and neck, man. Everyone thinks the Champions League is the best, but the Premier League represents long-term dominance in functionality, so I'd put them both at the top together. Then, to be honest, it's Europa League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Community Shield, Super Cup, or whatever, like down there. So, the Europa League is a big trophy. Solskjaer would absolutely love to win that trophy and give himself back up in case, Leicester pip him to fourth place or whatever. That has to be their priority. But, 4 times against Chelsea, beating Chelsea 4 times, he'll like that. Especially with all the comparisons drawn between Solskjaer and Frank Lampard. Not fair, I know. Solskjaer's been coaching for a long time. 13 years or something? And this is Frank Lampard's second season management. And of course, Solskjaer spent millions and millions and millions on players rebuilding his team, where Frank Lampard is yet to use a new signing. So, not fair to make comparisons. But regardless to these factors, Chelsea fans, Chelsea players, Frank Lampard and everyone at the club will be very frustrated that the PE teacher has beaten Chelsea 3 times. I was there at the Carabao Cup game, a superb and delicious free kick from Marcus Rashford. Fair play to that lad, who will be a threat if he plays today. Really, the first game, the 4-0, was a bit of a silly game. You know, football writer and analyst Michael Cox said Chelsea played better in that game in open play, and it was the most ridiculous 4-0 he's ever seen. And although that sounds like a radical sweeping statement, I think most United fans will know that was not a 4-0 game. So the interesting and important players in this matchup, if all the players were playing, would probably be, well, the most notable on both sides for me would be Manchester United's Bruno Fernandes and Chelsea's now absent N'Golo Kante. I think N'Golo Kante could have protected Chelsea on the counter-attack for transitions and stuff, and he also could have hopefully stifled Bruno Fernandes. Kante's out, but I'm not sure Fernandes will play. There's a lot of speculation between the Manchester United fans in what team they should field tonight. Should they do heavy rotation? Should they rest Fernandes, Pogba, Rashford, Martial? I mean, that's a lot. Would you expect to see Ighalo, Lingard, Fred and Matic and all these people? Maybe. Certainly you could bring in Dan James and still try and punish Chelsea on the counter-attack, that sort of thing. But I really am not entirely sure how to sort of predict this Manchester United lineup, because a lot of United fans are telling me, oh yeah, he'll rotate heavily. But for me, I think no, he'll really want to rubber stamp this dominance on Chelsea this season and play a strong side. To be honest, out of all their top performing front 5 performers at the moment, the one who was meant to be the best player at Manchester United for the longest time is probably, to me, their weakest link at the moment, and that is Paul Pogba. Not because he's not generally playing well, but the fact how he gets caught in possession a lot. Chelsea have rested the likes of Mason Mount for the first time this season for a full game. He could come in, and he's the kind of player to turn over possession and nip it from your feet when you're not paying attention. That looks exactly like what Paul Pogba's done recently. He's not been sharp between the ears when it comes to getting rid of the ball quickly, and he's, turned over possession. So that kind of thing, Frank Lampard will be thinking about that, but really, he might be planning for the absolute first team of Manchester United. Solskjaer fields a B team, and then that would almost mess up Chelsea's preparation, maybe. When it comes to Chelsea's lineup, Frank Lampard will absolutely respect the competition and want to win. He's not in the Europa League. This is the only opportunity he has to win a trophy. And to be honest, mate, looking at the path now, United and this Arsenal team, he'll fancy himself to do it. Really, the biggest block as things stand is Manchester United. To be honest, when it comes to rotation with Chelsea, I don't really see any, to be honest, man. I'd probably like to see Callum Hudson-Odoi to come in, but although he looks bright when he comes on, this kind of lineup, these players will demand Frank's trust completely, absolute. Do you know what I mean? So I could probably see him going with the front 3 of Giroud, Willian and Pulisic again, to be honest. The lone pivot role is a massive one. Is he going to stick with Jorginho? Is he going to put Kovacic back there? You'd think you'd want someone like Kovacic who can actually make a decent slide tackle, and again, defending transition, it's going to be really, really difficult. I don't know, but I want to ask the question to you guys. What if Frank Lampard plays a 3-back system, moves Marcos Alonso over, tucks Azpilicueta into right centre-back, plays Zuma and, I don't know, Christensen or something? I suppose Christensen suits the most as that central centre-back in the back 3. Reece James right wing back, really try and compact the centre of defence to prevent Manchester United's counter-attacks, and also try and exploit with an incredible amount of width, because I think probably we need some sort of because Chelsea, if they stay in the game, they've got good players, they can score goals. We just can't concede transition goals early doors and then have this weird inferiority complex coming to the surface again against Manchester United. And although Solskjaer might rotate, he might rest, he'll probably have absolutely no problem bringing on Rashford, Fernandes, Martial for the final 20 minutes to turn the screw and nail the coffin. You know what I mean? Chelsea have to impose themselves on this game, but they need to do one of their defensively resolute performances, which they have done this season, few and far between, and generally pretty darn rare. But I'm thinking like Ajax away, that 1-0 win. Granted, that was a 4-back system, that wasn't a back 3 or 5. I'm just asking the question, perhaps maybe in this game, against a team like Manchester United that are so devastating on the counter-attack, have an extra centre-half in there, have the ability to make a back five so people can't run in the channels behind, and also, when we've got possession, use absolute width to try and do cutbacks and maybe bamboozle the likes of Harry Maguire if he is indeed playing. So anyway, I want to get you guys' thoughts on this game. So difficult, man, to do I'm going to predict a Chelsea win. I do score predictions sometimes. I'm going to say 3-2 just because I want to be positive. But I'm not feeling that positive. But I want to get your thoughts, guys. Get down in the comment section below. Express your thoughts on how the game might go. Give me a score prediction. Who do you think is going to line up for Chelsea Football Club? And who do you think Solskjaer is going to send out for Manchester United? Express yourselves down in the comment section below. Remember to drop a sub onto this channel, please, and like the video because that helps me out a lot. What else? Whatever, man. Enjoy the football and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.